Sound is ready, chair is ready, setup is ready. Let's get cracking. Hi, I'm Roman, your podcast host, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Get Cracking podcast. We search for knowledge from people who already done it and we share it with you guys. So, you can replicate, find your path, find your way into the life. So who am I? I am a team leader and a project manager. I am also really into entrepreneurship and I'm searching for co-founders or a founding idea. And then I'm sure in the future this will also come my way. In my free time, I'm into basketball, snowboard, all sorts of boards, and then learning new things and trying to stay active. So it is fun and, hit me up if you go somewhere. Maybe a bit about the podcast story itself. Yes, by the way, so today it's only me speaking. So if you wondered or if you search for another person, please skip. Otherwise, stay in. I will tell you a story. How did I come to, establishing this podcast and what do you expect from this season and where are we going with all of this? So I just one sunny day, I've noticed that many of us do not really know, what to do with your life, with our lives, or where to be, where to go, and professionally, etc. And then I was like this myself some years ago after, completing my first bachelor in business information technology. I was, not a businessman and not the technology person. And I was wondering, what should I do? What is my life about? How should I start? Where should I go? And it was really confusing. Now, I think I more or less found my path and I really know where I'm going. And then I want to help other people to figure out where they want to be, where they want to go. And then to do this, we will have an interviews. I will invite interesting people and professionals who are enjoying of what they're doing. And we will have a discussion of what is this and how did they came up around this profession and, how did they start? This will be the first line. The second line of the content would be about the concrete actions that they took some time ago and then how did they perceive their career. So what was in the very beginning. I'm a high believer into, reaching a momentum, but the momentum in life starts with something, and this something is a small action that you need to take in order to discover the next steps, etc., etc. For me, I am really curious person, and even without the podcast, I enjoy asking people, what do you do for a living? How did you start it? Where are you going with all of this? So it is really interesting to have this in-depth conversations and trying to understand and learn from where did it all start and where it is going. So hopefully by fulfilling my curiosity needs and your curiosity needs, we will also help some people, to reach their dream, maybe job or place or profession or maybe size of their business, etc. So we all can be happy. So podcast mission is we are on the mission to healthy accelerate each one of us to happiness. And I am sure this is really possible. Maybe a bit about the plans for this podcast. So today it is the solo episode. And by the way, I'm super nervous and I'm comfortable. It's not only the first ever episode of the podcast for me, but I'm also alone in the studio. So I'm speaking to you, but I don't see you and there is no connection. And it is the skill to be learned. So please stay tuned. I am learning and practicing and soon we will be there. So the plan is that first episode, we have 10 interviews, 10 guests. I already have a lineup in my mind. I still need to do the agreements and arrangements with these people. So when we have these in-depth discussions, but then it will be, so to say, a soup of professions. Somebody from human resources, somebody from sales, somebody from project management, somebody from technology, somebody from real estate. Yes, by the way, the first episode that is also coming in July will be with a real estate person. There are planned online and offline interviews. So online meaning that, when I'm in Helsinki and then we cannot meet with person, which would be better. So hopefully if the podcast grows to the size that, we can afford flying people in, then I will start gladly doing it. And then also online interviews. Something else that I had in mind is some sort of public interviews. It would be interesting to invite the person for the interview and invite some certain guests in the same room so we can also have a discussion or maybe a panel discussion with certain open-ended questions for the certain profession. That would be also super interesting. And the season-wise, so the first season is no focus. There are guests from all different areas and expertise, and then in the future we'll have a separate season for technology. We will have several seasons about entrepreneurship. I'm sure about that. It is a hot topic, and now in Helsinki region there is many entrepreneurs who worth sharing their stories. And then also we surely will tap into arts and sports. I am not a professional athlete, neither professional artist, so I'm super interested. So how did they make this choice to pursue the professional career? Do the same or similar, or I can replicate it to my own career, I can replicate it to my story, maybe I can adopt what they've done and do it a bit differently. And then also the guest will be giving certain tips that might be helpful for you, or it's just the curiosity reason. So I want to know everything in this world. So this is why I will ask, questions. In addition to getting all of this, I wanted also to share maybe a bit of my journey. So I'm surely having a lot of learning experiences and understandings, and I constantly figure something out. And then I thought maybe during the podcast, during the interviews, this would be a good moment to share those learnings for you guys from me, because I just want to share. And maybe something recent, and the recent nugget, so to say, that I observed and I learned again, was the importance of networking and importance of speaking to people. Recently, it was the Arctic 15 event. It is a startup event, and I'm sure folks from Helsinki region heard of this one. I was volunteering there and I was connecting to people during this event, and it's just amazing that sometimes we don't even recognize that there are potential in cooperation. There is a potential of common opportunity pursuing, or just the big potential of learning something from someone. So I would really encourage everybody to network, but then network in a good way. Just go speak with people, share your feelings, share what what you've learned, etc. I also think that networking, sometimes we perceive it from, let's say, task perspective. So when you want to land the new job, you go there and you network for a job. And I think this is really good. This is what the networking coaches teach us, and I support this idea. So if you need a job, you go and network for a job. So you have a certain plan, you network in a certain event, you network with a certain people. But then in addition to that, I would really encourage just a networking or just discussions with the different people. And because this is when the most unusual opportunities arise. So this is how I came across, best friendships maybe in my life, or this is how some years ago I met Juska during Slash, just randomly meeting him during Slash without any, further expectations, and we ended up partnering and launching an app. The apps didn't really succeed, but it was a great experience, and it just came out of nowhere. And these are just few examples of great things. And then you might ask me, just cool, yes, we should do the networking, but Roman, so how do we network? And I think it is also easier said than done, and you just put yourself out there. And you go and you say, hi, how are you? And it is hard. We all are, used to being here, being just ourselves and, seeing, observing people. And it gets so uncomfortable, intimidating to go and say hi and have a discussion. But that's what you gotta do. You gotta get uncomfortable. You gotta go and speak to the person, and from there, maybe really practical tip. So what is really working for the events, for example, if you are there and you want to network but you don't know how to start, use everything that is around you. You look around and find the person who is alone and who is, looks uncomfortable. And I bet you the person is having the same feelings as you are, because they want to network, they want to meet people, but they just feel uncomfortable. So I think this is your audience. Go say hi. And I think by doing this, you would relieve the pressure from you and from this person, and you would have a great conversation. I'm sure about that. Yes, another big tip maybe is connect for real. So when you're out there and, for example, you do have a reason to network, you want to close a deal, you want to find new partners, true, you do it for that particular reason. But in the moment when you understand that this is not your audience, let's say, this is not your future partner, but various reasons, just stick to the person for a bit and try to be in the moment. Try to understand the person. Just try to meet them. Otherwise, just leave. Just don't waste the time for anyone. But if you are there, if you are into the conversations, just go for that, and be there for person and with person, and and this is how the conversation will flow. And yeah, I think I could have just be speaking about this more and more and telling you some stories, but this is not the reason for this episode. So let me know if this is interesting, and if we should pick up this topic with some guests, or we should maybe discuss a bit more. I would be happy to do that. So this was maybe my certain learning from recent times, maybe not from recent times, but I reconfirmed that how important it is. I think now we went through most of our agenda, and I'm almost ready to say goodbye to you and go for my lunch. And please push the subscribe button. Is that what they all say? Push the subscribe button. Please leave rating and the review on the platform that you are listening. Share it with your friends. And then I think most important for me in the current stage, let me know how to be better, what to improve, what you'd like to hear more, and where I should speed up or improve, because I'm just starting. I have no idea how it should work, and I'm happy for your maybe a bit more critical feedback or suggestions. I'm surely will be working on it, because it is just the start. Hey, thank you very much for listening. I hope you made through till this point, and have an amazing day.